Cowabunga dudes and dudettes, this is Anthony, aka Batbomb82, and today I'll be doing a review of the new Trashin Pumpkin Madballs figure from Premium DNA. Now, as you can see, I have all three versions of Trashin Pumpkin here, but I'll only be actually reviewing two of these, as the third one is going to be a giveaway, which I'll talk about shortly. But before we take a closer look at the actual figure, I want to take a closer look at the packaging. Alright, so taking a closer look at the box here, looks really cool. We get that great image of Trashin Pumpkin right there, which I think looks so awesome. If we turn this around, we get the Madballs logo as well as the Need for Speed No Limits logo, as Trashin Pumpkin here is actually an original character for the Need for Speed game. So what they did here is basically turn Trashin Pumpkin into a Madballs character. So I think that's super awesome. Now this is just a slip cover, so we could slide this right off right there. And I understand my lights are really washing this out, but you can see the figure inside there looking awesome. This is particularly the glow-in-the-dark version like that. Trashin Pumpkin Apparition Edition, which I think looks awesome. So I absolutely love those first Madballs figures we got from Premium DNA, and this is one I was particularly hyped about, and again, just in time for the Halloween season. So let's go ahead and crack these figures open and let them breathe. Alright, so here is Trashin Pumpkin out of the box, man. Looking super, super cool. I also love the fact that we're getting pretty much like original semi-original Madballs characters that we get to add to the existing line, which I think is so cool. The head sculpt just looks fantastic. I love how you have like that little cross right there in the eye, and I love the underneath the black right there is a separate piece, so this is like almost like a separate piece that lays over that black center, which looks really good, gives it that depth to it. Got the little nice slime that has a little bit of a glossy paint to it that really makes it feel like a different texture compared to the rest here. Same thing with this more bright limey yellowy green here on this side. The tuft right here of the spikes coming out, all the nice wash over the orange just looks so good, man. Turn it around to the back here. Like again, you can see where the pumpkin was more sliced open, more of this goo just pouring out. Just looks so awesome. I love what they've done here. He is rocking like a purple and black striped shirt that looks really good too, and this really nice long coat with all this stitching and stapling and things like that. Individual painted pieces right there looks really killer. I love his little badge right here with the little smiley face. That looks good too. He has a nice rope belt, and these pants, just pretty much all his clothing feels almost Frankenstein-ish, which I think is really good. So you got patches and things like that holding it together. But I love like his limbs are in a way monstrous yet like plant-like, you know what I mean? So I love the different painted toes. I think that looks really good as well. And again, a wash throughout all that, and you'll see throughout the entire figure all these vines wrapping around the pieces, around his arms and his legs. You got all these spikes coming out. I mean, he is just a very cool looking character, and again, just really love, I mean, look at every last one of those stitches holding it together and all individually painted. That is a sweet looking character, man. Absolutely beautiful and gross, and hey, that's what I love about Madballs. So now moving on to the accessories here, we do get interchangeable hands. So we got things like closed fisted hands and gripping hands. We also do get hands that are a little more open palm with like loose grips. And we got things like hands that don't have vines. We get different hands with vines. We even have finger pointing hands. Those are really cool too. All are very, very well done. They're just on a simple little small mushroom peg that actually do hold on very tightly. So that works out very nice as well. We get this really odd hand right. It's like more of a zombie hand, which is really cool. You can't port this in, so it's more of like an accessory instead of an interchangeable part. Got the bone with some blood coming out, and it does have a little bit of a grip to it, so I was kind of wondering maybe you just stick that on there like he's holding on part of the display if you want to do something like that. So I think that's really cool, so that's most likely what I'll use it for. Since he is a Need for Speed character, we do get more like vehicle type weapons, like automobile weapons. So you get this giant like piston like thing with a wrap around it. We do get, I don't know if this is supposed to be piston oil or blood, but we got some like screws coming out of it, which is pretty gnarly, so I love that. We do get this crossbar here for changing out your tires that has like vines, and it has blood, and it has a little bit of rust on there, and there's this crazy little eyeball that's wrapped around that, which is pretty gross and still very cool in my opinion. Then probably one of my favorite weapons or accessories here is going to be his pitchfork, which just looks super cool. Again, that wood looks great. You got worms swirling all around, a big fat giant worm that's literally got stabbed through. That is so gross. And the blood and more goo coming out of it. I just think that is crazy looking, man. And you can hold it in the gripping hand. Just slide it right through there like that, and that makes for a really cool looking display. But easily the best thing that we do get here is going to be the exclusive head sculpt. Now, when I say exclusive head sculpt, everything that you've seen so far is going to be for the standard release from when you order from other retailers and things like that. But if you order this guy exclusively through the Premium DNA website, you will get this exclusive head sculpt. And oh my God. So I'm going to pop this off like so, just on a giant ball peg, and pop that on right there. And as you can see, this is where we get more Madball-esque type of looks for this character. I mean, those are just dramatically different. You can see the eyeballs in there looking great, nicely painted. This one's just dangling in there with these like vines or veins and things coming out. That is so gross, and I love it. You got a little spider right here, worms coming out throughout the head and the mouth. I mean, there's just muck everywhere. This guy has a knife sticking out the back of his head like he's being carved. I mean, this is so gross and beautiful, man. This really takes me back when gross out toys were the thing, and I think they did such a good job with this. Again, this head right here, in my opinion, makes it feel like a Madballs character. If you like this head, totally think it's awesome, but in my opinion, if you order the exclusive version from Premium DNA, this is what you want to go with, man. Both of them look cool. I just think that one looks way cooler. Now, I also do have the glow-in-the-dark version, and as you can see here, and I'll show some comparisons, the colors are pretty different here, but especially in things like the arms and the feet here, they are that bright, like day glow green, which looks super cool. So I'm going to bring in the other release right here, and you can see we do get two different color coats. So you got the brighter purple, deeper purple on this one, where he has the brown over here. He has a nice black and silver striping for his shirt, even on his rope, belt, that's silver as well. He's got black pants, and again, the skin tones are dramatically different. Even the little tuft up here is more of a different type of yellowish green than compared to over here. But they both look really cool, and I think decos are awesome. So if you wanted to, the thing that's a really cool thing with the glow-in-the-dark version is that you do also get both different types of heads. So, I mean, if you wanted to get both, like maybe the standard release and the glow-in-the-dark version, you can pretty much display them in two different ways, so they almost look like two different characters. Maybe some pumpkin bros, you know what I mean? I think that's super awesome. And hey, this is a glow-in-the-dark figure, right? What would it be if we didn't take a look at it in the dark and see how really cool those arms and legs really glow? Also, all the accessories are the same from both these figures. The only really difference you're going to get is in the color of the hands. Other than that, everything is exactly the same. So now, as I said, these are modular figures, meaning you could interchange parts between other figures that share this system. So I do have one of my other Madballs figures here, probably my favorite one being this My Pet Monster version, which is just such a cool piece. I really recommend you guys track this thing down. So if you want to do things like take this head off right here, just pop that off. Maybe you want to bring this guy's head and then pop it on here. You could do something like that, pop it on there nice and tight, so you could have something like so. Even the arms themselves, really nice tight like that, so you could pop those things off and interchange. Let me take his forearm, very, very tight, and pop that on there like so. If you want to mix and match, I mean, the feet come off. I mean, pretty much everything you can do, even the torso split, all kinds of things. And if you have just a full lineup, you can come up with some crazy looking monster creatures, and I am totally here for that. So in case you're new to these modern Madballs figures, I'm going to go ahead and show off the articulation here. The head is on a ball joint. You're mostly going to get left and right here. It is a pretty bulky head, so you're not going to get a ton of other motion. You can kind of roll it around a little bit up and down a very tiny bit, but again, mostly left and right. The arms do go full 360. You can, at the shoulders there, you can rotate them all the way, but these things are on little spikes, and we do get this little collar piece or the shoulder piece right here for the coat, so it kind of hinders that a little bit, but again, this can be taken off if you really want to. Arms can go all the way out to the side that far. We can rotate at the elbow as well as a bend at the elbow, so they get about 90. Rotation at the wrist as well as a hinge at the wrist. We do get a ball peg in the midsection, so it does act as a really nice waist swivel, so that works out pretty good. We do get hip joints that kick forward that far, back about that much, can kick out to the side about that far. Again, it will hit the coat right here. We do get rotation at that knee, as well as a nice tight bend at that knee. That's actually really solid, so that's actually really, really good. Ankles can go up, down, point very far, and then a really sweet ankle rocker. So overall, man, I am so excited for this one. I was lucky enough to review the first wave of Madballs figures from Premium DNA, and I am so stoked that we're getting these now, because this is one that just stands out as something just a little bit extra special, because this is technically kind of like a new character for us, you know what I mean? And I think they did such a great job with these, and in my opinion, they are definitely a must get. So there it is, guys, my review of the new Madballs Trashin Pumpkin from Premium DNA. Now, overall, I think this is such a fun toy. It is both gross and beautiful at the same time, and that's exactly what I look for in a Madballs toy. I think the sculpts are incredible. Premium DNA gives us some of the most detailed sculpts out there right now, and especially the paint apps. The paint apps are gorgeous. I mean, heck, even the accessories are fully painted, which is something you don't see too often, honestly. I think the articulation works very well. All the joints are nice and tight, and I really love the fact that these things are on a modular system, so you can mix and match parts with other Madballs from Premium DNA, which I think is super cool, and it gives us a really fun collection to play with. Now, this thing is just in time for the Halloween holidays, and I think he would make for a really fun display no matter which version you do get. All the different head sculpts are badass. All the different colors are so vibrant and really stand out as something special on the shelf, and I think they will look great in any of your collections. So as I said, I'll be giving away a free Trashin Pumpkin, and here's what you gotta do to enter. You gotta be a subscriber, hit the like button on this video, and comment Trashin Pumpkin, and I'll pick a comment at random and choose a winner. That's all you gotta do, and you'll be sent a free Trashin Pumpkin toy. How cool is that? So please, be excellent to each other, and stay nerdy, my friends. Peace.